standing on square.
You know, start standing on the square,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you know, there's Moors who lost deals because their mentality was like, I gotta stand on the. If they say license, no license, but you know, all they wanted to do was get them out of there as soon as possible. But because they didn't because they didn't go with it, right? Because they sort of flopped themselves, right? They lost out, and now they're doing time now, which is more than if they would have just took the deal, showed the license or whatever. They would have been out already. You know what I mean? So all those things are part of the learning curve with individuals dealing with this defending the birthrights issue, because it's don't think that some Moor did something and you're gonna take what that Moor did and then his outcome's gonna be your outcome. It don't work like that. It never ever works like that. It's based on what you know, what you standing on. Even if you know a little bit, you don't have to know all and be all. Just like we were saying with, you know what I mean? Somebody have no knowledge and just going just on this. Excuse me, Your Honor, but this right here, you can't charge somebody for possession of this. So I moved that the court dismissed this or lack of whatever. I moved the court dismissed this because whoever gave me this was incompetent. And you should be competent if you're saying that you're law enforcement and all that stuff.
For sure.
And that guy should be fired. And I should be compensated for even having to go through all this stuff under this, which is nothing. Right? So again, you know, we out here, keep in mind that when we talk about the layered jurisdictions, when we talk about the layered jurisdictions, you got Supreme Court, Federal Court, and then everything else is Ontario Court of Justice, Family Court, Tax Court, Small Claims, ETC. If you're in any of these courts, you're supposed to be able to file with the court a writ of removal so you can go to federal court. But the issue that we have here is that these guys are colored, these guys are colored, and all these guys are colored. So there's nowhere for you to really remove your stuff to. There's no legitimate court to remove your case to. So Moors that are south of us, they would put this into the court, and then it would be removed from one of these lower ones to a higher one that has jurisdiction to even hear the matter, right? Because there is republic under these jurisdictions, whereas our federal court is the exchequer court. Right? The exchequer court became the federal court. So the federal court's not even federal. The Supreme Court is of Canada, which we know that's a private corporation, it's not a country. So a Supreme Court of a private corporation is not a Supreme Court.
Of the land.
Right? Supreme Court is not a Supreme Court. So we can't even go there.
Okay.
This is why when, you know, we go into these places, then you start trash them about, hey, we're gonna sue you and we're gonna do this and that or whatever. They already know that everything's colored. So they're not even, go right ahead, you know what I mean? Sue all you like. Because they're not hearing it up here. Even if they did hear it, it's gonna be colored. They're not hearing it here because that's colored. And then everybody else is colored. Why? Because there's no republic here. Only
democracy.
And they're sticking to this. They're making sure that this jurisdiction appeared to be the jurisdiction that Canada is founded on. But, you know, you start going to Articles of Confederation, Article 11 and all that stuff, Canada cedes into everything in the Union, which is
Well, that's
the
what I
United
was
States
gonna-
Constitution and all that, or United States of America Republic Constitution, right? If we're not talking that, then
That's-
all their colored stuff is what is gonna,
Well, that's what I was gonna ask in regards to the Supreme Court of Canada. What Canada should be the question. Remember, next year's gonna be 150 years for Canada. So which Canada are we talking about? So when we say the Supreme Court of Canada, you have to understand as well, there's a Supreme Court of Canada Act. And those are the rules that they follow. So when you ask, Supreme Court of Canada should be, well, which Supreme Court of Canada? The 150 years one, or the 200-year one, or the 300-year one, or some much further back?
or is it not even here?
Or it's
Maybe
not even here.
we're supposed to be in Philadelphia,
Yes.
Supreme Court.
Exactly.
Not even over here, not even in this jurisdiction should we be suing anybody,
Mm-hmm.
because everything here is colored. And they know that everything here is colored. They know that they came here, you know what I mean? They said, city of whatever. City of Toronto, well, Toronto's an indigenous word. City of Ottawa, oh, that's an indigenous word. Oh, Alberta, oh, that's indigenous. You know, you go down the line. Everything's indigenous words, but then the so-called native people, they're not fighting that these people stole the names of their stuff. They're not fighting that city of Toronto is called Toronto and that's an indigenous word. How come they don't light on our railway tracks for that? How come they're not fighting for the fact that, you know, city of Ottawa. Ottawa is Aboriginal indigenous word. Nothing to do with Europeans. You know what I mean? Quebec is this. That's an indigenous word. They only put, so you can think it's French. But it's not French over there. That's native people stuff. Right? When you're writing to them, same thing. When you're putting your doing your mail to them, bring them back into the jurisdiction. Don't say ON. Put the whole stuff. Don't say you know, L5N2P3
Put it in brackets.
without the brackets and without near.
Oh, you have to write near as well?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't put that on my rates.
Brackets will suffice.
Okay.
This is just extra. This is just
True,
add-on
true,
stuff, right?
What about when you write like Toronto, Ontario territory? Do you have to include territory?
Or
you could just leave
yeah,
that.
you should put it,
All
right?
right.
Ontario territory, right? You know, even if you want to put Northwest of Mexico,
At the very end?
yeah, because you're ultimately letting them know that you know that the jurisdiction isn't with them.
Right. Right.
Like, we're the ones that have the jurisdiction. We're the ones that have the judicial proclamations, not them. They're colored. We're the ones with the nationality cards. They have corporate cards, so they're colored. We're the ones that don't say city of and province of and country of, because we're not colored, right? And again, it's not doing these things to get a response from them. It's doing these things because that's what we should be doing.
Right.
We don't need a response from them. And if we do get a response from them, it's probably going to be colored response. You're going to get the letter with the little thing on there, paid, postage, whatever, red stamp and all that stuff, no stamp. Some red printed thing saying that that's paid for. Well, from Universal Postal Union perspective, that's mail fraud. So anything they send you doesn't have a stamp, it's mail fraud, automatically. And if they're engaging in mail fraud, then for what other fraud are they engaging in? If they're gonna go so far to not pay for postage, then we can't trust anything that these people really do. Everything that they do should be under a microscope with regard to us. There's not anything that they should send you that you're not opening that and reading everything, check and stuff, make sure that, you know what I mean, what does this mean that they said this? You know what I mean? Why would they put this on there? Why would they, you know, why would they not sign this? Why would they say, give me money, but not sign it? You know what I mean? You know, why would they be engaging in mail fraud? Why would it say ON on it? Why would it have the name in all capital letters that is supposed to be me? All these things are indications that something's clearly wrong. And recognizing that something's wrong, you know, it's just like when we realize, oh, well, I'm really not black. Well, you better be going somewhere after that. You're not just staying there, well, we're not black, and then, so whatever could happen now. There has to be something coming after. You know what I mean? Right? And again, to stress the point, we're not expecting anything from them. We're not looking for any favorable replies. We're not looking for them to, you know what I mean, the black powers, they kiss our feet and stuff like that because we're the Moors, we're back and all that. That has nothing to do with that. We know that these people are colored, so because they're colored, that's how we deal with them people. You know what I mean? Again, because of the issues with jurisdiction, we're not able to sue. If we do sue, more than likely, they're gonna find some way to block it because they're colored. Whether they put their judge friend up there, whether they, you know, keep pushing the court date back. Yeah, come back, whatever it is that they do, they're gonna do what it is they have to do to make sure that the spotlight's not on them. Because as soon as the spotlight's on them, now, you know, attention is being brought to them that they don't want. Especially talking about the stuff that we're talking about relative to them. About you know, the three matters: status, jurisdiction, adjudication. First issue, status. So, for the record, I am the runner-up. Everybody else put your name on the record. And, you know, with documentation. Well, again, which is the whole thing with the writ of discovery, and then asking for all those things in the writ of discovery, so that you're not talking out your mouth or talking out your mind. You're talking based on the evidence that you put before them. And whatever it is that you decide to put in there is what is going to be addressed. You know what I mean? And I think that the whole misspelling stuff is an angle to go with them. Even on the day of the
court. Yeah.
The summons.
Summons, yeah.
Even on the summons, they pull the prosecutor. You're a prosecutor.